Welcome back, video creeps. You guys, your boys put out a lot of videos, and it's been a while since I've done one of these, so I figured why the fuck not? Talk about the craft and all this other bullshit, let's fucking do this. We've tackled the 80s. We've tackled the 90s. So let's jump forward in time, so that way we can go over my favorite movies of the 2000s. This list will span from 2000 to 2010. And like the other two videos, it's gonna be biased as fuck. So let's just get into what I think. Remember, watch the whole video. Don't be a bitch. First up is gonna be Eden Lake. Man, this movie is fucking exceptional. Somewhat of a fucking slow burn until it's a full-blown forest fire. I don't know what it is, but like fucking there's something about kids, man. They can be fucking scary. I think it's probably because there's this inherent purity that we look at kids with. And this film fucking proves that no, they're dicks. Oh yeah, fuck all these kids. They say kids are the future. I don't want these kids to have a future. The main leads in this movie, ugh, you just feel so fucking bad for them. It's horrific feeling so hopeless for these characters. But man, it's dope. It's fucking great. If you're a fan of movies like I Spit on Your Grave and shit like that, just fucking people getting revenge, this movie rocks. There's some pretty good body horror in this thing as well. Highly recommend. Up next, we got Trick or Treat. So again, you know, this is gonna come off a little fucking biased, but this is the very first anthology film that I'd ever watched. I remember seeing this thing and just thinking like, wow, look at all these horror movies. Did I just hit the dollar store jackpot and shit? Obviously I'm kidding, because the quality of this movie is fucking ridiculous. And the fact that we got Sam introduced into this thing, and the kills are just so fucking good. Trick or Treat is just a plain old good time. Hush. For as much as this movie kinda came and went, I gotta say, I don't think this movie gets the recognition that it fucking deserves. A home invasion film about a woman who can't articulate her fucking fear? Yeah, that's rough. And the way that the killer fucking just toys with her the whole film long. There's this one gnarly scene where like she sees him and he sees her and he's wearing a mask and she's like, just go. I mean, she's signing it, writing it on walls and shit. But she's like, just go, fucking I won't tell anyone. I didn't even see your face, homie, we're good. So motherfucker just takes off his mask like, what? I guess we got a problem now. You see me fucking chilling. May. Straight up and down, fucking May is just a good goddamn time. Some horror movies, they just feel like fucking comfort food. And this film is the mecca of that feeling for me. Which must make me some kind of fucking weirdo, because this movie is about a lonely woman who starts dismembering people to create the perfect friend. Yet somehow she's completely relatable. There's something about that feeling of isolation that we can all kind of get to in our hearts. The movie May preys on that isolating feeling like you're fucking odd and you suck, and you can't just relate or grab onto anyone else. Though her obsession is fucking, you know, it exists, you weirdly put yourself in her position. If you haven't seen May yet, quit fucking up, get it done. Drag Me to Hell. Sam Raimi has had such a fucking interesting career, especially when it comes to horror. He's one of those dudes that puts out movies where it's kind of like, well, if you know, you know, if you don't, well then go fuck yourself. Luckily in the horror community, a lot of people know Drag Me to Hell. And for good reason, it's kind of a fucking masterpiece. It's a tense exploration into the world of curses and consequences. At work, a woman pisses off an elderly lady who comes back and fucking hexes her. And just seeing the deterioration of her fucking world, it fucking rocks. Justin Long is also fucking sick in this film. It's so good. I don't think I'm alone in saying that I'm sitting around waiting for part 2. Hatchet. So this movie only made my list because I rewatched it about a month ago and remembered how fucking good it is. It's just so bloody and light. Anytime that you can get a horror movie that goes in telling you that you don't really need to commit to it, makes you invest in it somehow. It's funny and it's gory. And seeing respected horror alumni all come together for this film is badass. It's awesome to see Kane Hodder. It's awesome to see fucking Robert Englund and fucking Tony Todd and shit. Like, it's fucking great. This movie is 100% a horror nerd orgasm waiting to happen. So go come, baby. Go get yourself off. House of Wax. yeah, this is gonna be one of those biased picks for me. What can I say? This movie, it just hit me at the right time. I watched a lot of fucking Cousin Skeeter, and the fucking guy from Cousin Skeeter, he's like in this movie and shit. But really, this movie makes the list because seeing people's skin start to peel with the wax, like it just stood with me. Yeah, it has the Paris Hilton thing, even though, ask me, I don't think Paris Hilton did that bad of a fucking job in this movie. I think the world hated her when it came out, so it kind of tarnished the reputation that this film was carving out. But it's actually a really solid film. And bro, Chad Michael Murray is the man. Bad Biology. Again, being a huge Frank Henenlotter fan, of course, this is gonna make my list. It's a lesser known film for sure. Most people haven't gotten their way through all the Henenlotter flicks, but I fucking love them, so this one came out and I was all about it. It's the story of two people with mutated genitalia, which I know upon hearing sounds fucking weird. Why would anyone want to watch this? Very hard to take seriously. I'm not saying that it's not. It is immature in its own way. But what the fuck? You come to Video Creep for class? Fuck that. Video Creep is the bar that's open at 4 a.m. So get over that shit and go watch the Pussy and Dick film. American Psycho. What a fucking delightful film. Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman is just a fucking fantastic time. He's the perfect example of a self-absorbed narcissist with just this dark and deep proclivity towards murdering. And the movie is played in this really fun, tongue-in-cheek way where we see his perspective and the perspective of others and how they view him. It's just absolutely fun in every fucking sense of the word. I won't harp on too long about this one because a lot of people know this film. But fuck, American Psycho, I salute you. 1408. Look, you can take your judgments and shove them up your fucking ass. I like The Shining. I like John Cusack. I don't have to explain myself to you. Amusements. Like so many other ones on this list, this is a home invasion film. I guess just fucking B&Es were hot stuff back in the 2000s. But this film does a fucking awesome job. It's a babysitter taking care of two kids, and she's getting skeezed out by this life-size clown that's sitting in a chair. When all of a sudden she gets a call from the parents and she brings up the creepy clown, and they're like, yo, we don't have a creepy clown. And then just the race for survival ensues. It's fucking fantastic. It's not deep, it's not trying to be bigger than it is. It's literally just a fun fucking time. So dig it. Hostel. Talk about a movie that made me want to never leave my fucking country. When Hostel hit, I remember thinking like, okay, that's all kinds of fucked up stuff over there. Which is fucked up because it's totally contrary to everything that Eurotrip told me. This movie is so graphic and scary. If you walk into this movie not knowing what to expect, it's hard to fucking go through the whole thing and not be like, what the fuck? I wonder if people who watch this movie from where this movie takes place find it as scary as Americans do. We get a solid as fuck sequel down the line as well within this decade, but that's for another video. Jeepers Creepers. Alright. Fucking pedophile shit aside, can we agree that Jeepers Creepers was a solid fucking film? The creeper was menacing, man. And it was one of the first times in recent years that we saw a character that we entertained the idea of being like, okay, this guy might actually be able to get into the iconic horror villains club. Seemingly a club that's just becoming harder and harder to break into. But this guy fucking had it. The creeper was a fucking badass, man. And seeing Justin Long with those fucking missing eyes with Jeepers Creepers playing in the fucking background, ooh, that motherfucker stuck with me. Funny Games. Once again, this is a home invasion film. However, this is a home invasion film that stands way above any other home invasion film I've ever seen. It's so twisted and dark, and the premise surrounding what led these two characters to break into this family home is so rough. As soon as that one character fucking drops the eggs, you know something fucky is about to go down. It's just goddamn tasty. And it's like a fucking train wreck, man. Like, oh, this is gonna be really fucking bad. But you're gonna watch it. House of a Thousand Corpses. Rob Zombie's 2002 fucking masterpiece, giving birth to characters like Otis Driftwood and Baby Firefly, and of course, the late and great Captain Spaulding. This movie is the definition of a vibe. It's perfectly able to carve out this look and a specific subgenre of human beings. We get a deep look into that world. It's in your face and unapologetic. The PC police and SJWs would wash right the fuck out. The kills are gnarly, and it has Quentin Tarantino levels of enjoyability as far as the conversations go. Quit fucking around. Go watch House of a Thousand Corpses if you haven't seen it yet. The Hunt for the BTK Killer. This movie taught me literally everything that I know about the BTK Killer. And I'm already a sucker for true crime horror films and shit. Actually, it's not a bad idea for a video down the line. Just my fucking favorite true crime horror movies. Gears are turning. But The Hunt for BTK is a special kind of animal. The actor who plays BTK in this film is so unassuming. And again, because we get that dual perspective, when he's being a fucking asshole and he's at his worst, you feel that shit. There's a scene in this thing where we talk about the guy who tried to take credit for all the BTK killings, and you just see him festering with fucking, that manifestation of rage is so enjoyable to watch, and it's tense. Boy, that shit I was never able to forget. The Girl Next Door. I've gone on record many times saying that I think that this is one of the worst films that I've ever seen. And I don't mean worse by it being a bad film, I mean worse by hard to sit through. It's not gory, 1 million people don't die, but it's one of the most chilling films that I've ever watched. Showcasing the abuse and molestation of a teenage girl, all at the hands of a woman 4 times her senior. The hate that this woman has for this teenage girl is so ill-directed. This woman is able to show evil on screen, letting her grandsons and nephews have their way with her, putting out cigarette butts on her fucking skin, mutilating her fucking vaginal area. This is not a movie for the faint of heart, and though yes, it made my list, and though I do love this movie, it's a film that I try to avoid at all costs. The Ruins. Again, I don't have to fucking explain myself to you. I like Little Shop of Horror, why wouldn't I like this? Piranha 3D. And I'm ending my list on a fucking high note. A ridiculous note, but still high. I had to throw Piranha 3D on here, man. I love the Piranha films. And when this came out, I was just old enough to give a fuck about it. I was so excited. It's so funny. The piranhas are fucking terrifying. Honestly, it's the perfect movie to just fucking get drunk and chill to. Everyone in this movie does a fucking bang up job. The worst thing about Piranha 3D is that Piranha Double D didn't hold up to it. But like I said, that's for another video. So that's it, guys. Those are my favorite horror movies from the 2000s. I already did a video covering the 80s and covering the 90s that I will put as end cards at the end of this video. If you haven't already, make sure that you hit subscribe, like this video, and leave me a comment, because all that shit fucking helps my channel. Go down to the description of this video and find all of my social media, and just add a motherfucker. And if you really fucking dig it and want to see me succeed, become a Patreon. I do an exclusive show for my Patreon only where I tell fucked up stories about my life and talk about horror. It's a fucking great time. In addition to reviews that you don't get on here, early access to fucking artwork, it's a pretty fucking dope place to be. And on top of that, you get your name in the Patreon song. And if you don't want to do all that, at least hit the notification bell so that way you know when my next video is up. That's gonna be it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, video creeps.
Let me tell you about my Patreons and ons and ons and ons. How they go beyond and on and on and on. Rebecca reviews, Desmond Flicks and Butcher's Grindhouse. It's just fine how Splatter Vision, Larry Sherman, Kyoga, Corey Stewart, Michael Andrews, Carwoman, Chris Arnott, Ready or Not, 'cause this is my Patreon song for you. This is my Patreon song for you.